International Relations Minister Lindiwe Sisulu has defended the appearance of the Nelson Mandela statue gifted to the United Nations last week. A social media storm has since erupted over the likeness of the statue, with many airing views that the bronze was not a fair reflection of the country's first democratically elected leader.
Well, Sisulu attended her first closed meeting of the United Nations Security Council today, as the country is invited to be an observer of the processes ahead of taking up its seat on the 1st of January.
While the Mandela statue unveiled by President Cyril Ramaphosa and gifted to the United Nations is not on the Council's agenda, it's what everyone's talking about.
When we approved it and it was in wax, it was an absolute identikit of Madiba. Of course, bronze, which is what it is now, has a different texture, a different finish to it, but its longevity is absolute. So, I mean, if you were to go to Madame Trousseau's, it's wax and it is a complete replica. But in bronze, it would take on different shape. For instance, his hair is very coy, but you can't have bronze standing up. Otherwise, it is Madiba.
The statue, now at its permanent home in the visitors' lobby of the United Nations, was created by Andre Prinsloo and Ruan Jansen van Vieren, the very same sculptors responsible for the 9-meter bronze of Madiba at the Union Buildings in Pretoria.
It is the same sculpture, the same artist who did the one that stands in the Union Building, and it is the same gesture to the world that says, you know, I'm at peace with the world, be at peace with each other, almost like a father figure extending his hands. And that's what it is. Also the message that he conveys, he's in himself, more than whether his nose is tilted to the side or not. But for us, we approved it. It is Mandela. It is the best sculptor we have in South Africa. He is the one that the government turns to make Madiba, so he couldn't have gone wrong. And you will get used to the fact that it is Mandela.
The statue continues to stir debate, with many observers arguing that it doesn't look like Madiba and that the texture of his hair is not accurately reflected.
The other difference is that when you see Mandela, he's normally very tall, so you can't see the top of his head. But now you can, because he's kind of at that level. But he did have coy hair, like mine, but he did push it back, just to keep it down, like I would pull mine to keep it down. Now, if it was done in bronze, it wouldn't be standing out like this, it would fall down. So those are the little finer details that people would need to understand. It is Madiba. It is from a reputable sculptor who's a professor in art and has done many of Madiba's sculptures, and we could not have chosen better. I love it.
Comments likely to ignite the discussion even further. Bryce-Pease, SABC News.